In this episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, I'm going to be taking you through my top 10 training questions that I get asked on a frequent basis. And what's going to be unique about this episode is I'm going to keep it within 10 minutes from the moment I ask myself the first question. Now, there will be previous podcast episodes where I've given deeper context to the answers I'm going to share today, and no doubt future episodes. But I just wanted to provide one clean episode, which was a really solid snapshot and summary of the fundamental common questions to do with training that I feel people overthink or they simply overcomplicate. And to be fully transparent, I do have a timer in front of me, so I'll really keep this 10 minutes tight, okay? So, number one, what's the best workout to drop fat? Stop looking at workouts as a way to drop fat. You should be looking at workouts to optimize performance, build strength, build muscle. Ultimately, the thing that's going to help you drop fat is being in a calorie deficit, simply moving more than the calories and energy you're consuming via food, of course, okay? So stop looking at workouts as a way to drop fat. That is a way to stimulate your muscles, grow muscles, build strength, and of course, the food is going to support that. But if I was to say, what is a great workout to optimize energy output, of course, which is going to allow you to handle more food whilst dropping fat, I would probably go for big compound movements paired together, or even put in a tricep or giant set, where you're going from one big compound into another. So you're moving heavy load, minimal rest, going straight into another exercise. And that is why we love inside Built to Last doing triceps, giant sets, because you achieve more in less time, okay? Number two, what is the best rep range to build muscle? There might be contrasting opinions on this, but for me, it's anywhere from 6 up to 15 reps. And if you're on the lower end of that rep range, say 6, 7, 8 reps, I would be utilizing more slower eccentrics, slower tempos. And if you're more 12 to 15 within that 6 to 15 rep range, you would get away with a slightly quicker tempo. But the most important thing, rather than stressing about exact rep range, is making sure that you're doing plenty of sets where your muscles are under continual tension as a minimum for 30 to 40 seconds, even 60 seconds. Because if you're lifting heavier load with tension and getting stronger week to week, you'll build muscle faster, in my opinion, than any other type of training. But that's a solid rep range. And remember, to build muscle, we need to get stronger. Number 3, what does tempo mean? Tempo is the pace of the rep at which you move a muscle from a lengthened position to a shortened position. Usually we program our rep ranges within all of our workouts with 4 numbers. Okay, the first one's a negative. The second one is a pause in the lengthened position. Then you've got a concentric part of the tempo, and then isometric. Okay, but tempo is the pace of rep, and I really urge you to respect that. If you can't control a weight slow, you're not going to do it fast. And one of the most common things I see in the gym is people repping too fast. If you do the same, you look the same. So tempo for me is the pace of the rep. And I really advocate on utilizing a slower tempo, especially on your negatives, if you want to achieve more bang for your buck from your training sessions. Number 4, what are the best exercises to build a great body? Okay. Again, I see a lot of bullshit on social media, the latest new gimmick. The compound movements are king. I'm friends with people with great physiques who've been in shape for 10, 20 years. I've been in shape for 25 years myself, and we all use big compound movements. You cannot go wrong with heavy squats, deadlifts, big chest presses, big back rows, pull-ups, big shoulder presses, lunges, basically multi-joint movements, because you will lift more load, you'll get stronger quicker, and you will certainly build more muscle this way. So for me, focus on big compound movements. Around 80% of every single workout we program for our clients inside Built to Last is heavily compound focused. Number 5, what's better, free weights or machines? For me, free weights all day long. You will build more muscle, build more strength. You simply have to work harder as well. If you were to do a week of solely machine work, and then compared that to weeks solely of free weight work, then you'd notice enormous difference, in my opinion, with how hard you have to work with free weights. I think they are, I hate to use the word functional, but free weights for me will make your mind work hard as well as your body. And, your body is designed to move. And for me, free weights will allow you to move in more functional planes of movements, your squats, your hip hinge, your pushes, your pulls. Machines are great if you're coming back from an injury, for example, and to complement free weight stuff. But if you're looking to build a great physique, a strong physique, quicker than maybe what you currently are, a large proportion of your workout should be free weights. Number 6, how many days per week should I train? For me, it depends on your goal, of course, but I'm guessing if you listen to this podcast, you want a strong, muscular physique. You're never going to do that, in my opinion, if you're not lifting at least 3 times a week. I'm yet to see a world-class physique with anyone who's lifted less than 3 times per week. Our guys typically lift 4 inside built to last. And for me, 3 should be your minimum requirement. But irrelevant of obviously how many days you're training, of course, you still have to train with intent, purpose, and get stronger, okay? And remember, it should complement your personal, professional lifestyle. Number 7, what is the best time to train? Again, this is individual dependent. But for me, the best time to train should be when you're going to be most motivated, when you know you're going to be able to work your hardest with 100% focus without distraction. And from my experience, a lot of business owners are going to be doing that first thing in the morning or by lunch, early afternoon, absolute latest, especially if you've got businesses to run and you got a family to see after work. But train at the time you're going to give more effort, because ultimately what's going to dictate how quickly or not you transform is effort and getting stronger, and you're not going to be able to give more effort and get stronger if you're not factoring in the most effective time where you can focus 100%. Number 8, what are the best days to train? This is going to be individual dependent too. Now, I think if you're a business owner, business leader, listen to this, you need to be malleable with the days you train. Remember this, your mind, your body doesn't give a shit what day of the week it is. It doesn't know whether it's Monday, Saturday, Sunday. It doesn't matter. The best days to train are going to be week to week dependent on your schedule. All I would make sure is that within each week, and I've covered this on previous podcasts, is you are planning the days you're going to train at the start of each week or the end of the previous week, just so you know you're going to actually follow through on it, okay? But a typical example of what our guys do inside Built to Last, and it's supremely effective if you can do it this way. If you are lifting, for example, 4 times a week, myself and a lot of our clients, when we have the perfect week, it would be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, in terms of lifting sessions. And then myself personally, I complement that with boxing, Pilates, conditioning around the lifting sessions. But I always make sure I have, 1 day off at least, 2. Okay. Number 9, what are the best exercises to get abs? One of the biggest myths on the planet is doing hundreds and hundreds of countries to see your abs. The best exercise to get abs is dedicate time to buy and eat healthy food. The best exercise is putting healthy food in your mouth, okay, and training hard. When time is compromised for me, you shouldn't be focusing time on crunches. If you do have time to directly work your core, then I don't think you can beat Pilates. For me, it's way more effective and it'll be a lot more spine friendly. So rather than getting focused on different crunches, which I've done obviously hundreds, if not thousands over the years, if you are going to dedicate isolated work to your abs, then focus on Pilates. But for me, what should precede that is heavy weight training, steps, and a healthy diet. And last question is, I don't have access to a gym, what should I do? The key with this is to identify what are the best methods of load I have available if you don't have a kitted out gym. And for me, that's going to be using resistance bands and backpacks when it comes to your lifting. You can still push, you can still pull, you can still do squats, you can still do lunges, all these different movement patterns, but just using that load. And what you can also do, don't forget, is walk and eat healthy, and you're still going to see phenomenal progress. So don't stress about what you can't do, focus on what you can do. But there's the 10 answers to the 10 questions. I hope that's helped, and I'll see you next time.